Vacation time is so precious. Many people wait all year for it, anxiously saving money and time to take a trip that will satisfy some bucket list ticks. Nothing's worse than when the reality is a huge drop-off from your fantasy. To say it can be a little underwhelming is an understatement. Perhaps you fell for the hype or didn't do enough research, but after laying down your hard-earned cash to see disappointing tourist attractions, you have every right to feel a little peeved. Save yourself the sour grapes by avoiding these places which are not worth the cost. Stay tuned to discover some of the most expensive tourist destinations and which ones you should avoid. 1. Stonehenge, England. Estimated airfare, $366. From JFK to London, 96 miles to Stonehenge. Estimated train fare, $13.16 and up. From London to Salisbury, estimated lodging, from $381 for 4 nights at the Swan at Stowford. Private tours, from $193 per person. Before deciding on this one, you should compare costs with other ancient ruins. Why it isn't worth it. First things first, Stonehenge rocks, but all puns aside, it literally is a bunch of boulders constructed in mystery. These huge rock formations have puzzled visitors and given them an insight into the Neolithic man as he lived 5,500 years ago. But are they worth the estimated price tag? Many would say no. Unless you arrive very early in the morning and arrange for an expensive private tour, you won't see much but the backs of other tourists, and even if you do, remember that it's just a bunch of rocks. They are also located in the middle of nowhere, over 90 miles from London. 2. Blarney Stone, County Cork, Ireland. Estimated airfare, $620. From JFK to Cork, 13 miles from Blarney Castle. Estimated lodging, from $357 for 4 nights at Ashcroft Blarney. Entrance fee, $19.74 per person. If you do decide to travel abroad, make sure you're smart with your money. Why it isn't worth it. Hanging upside down over the edge of the 15th century castle face and planting a kiss on the Blarney Stone is supposed to impart visitors with the legendary Irish gift of the gab. But is it worth making the trip? Even if you traveled to this pricey locale on a budget, it still might not be worth it. With so many different people planting a smooch on this rock and the fact that you dangle your head off, quite a drop to do so has many tourists claiming this as an unsafe tourist spot. 3. Empire State Building, New York City. Estimated airfare, $291. From LAX to JFK, estimated lodging, from $773 for 4 nights at the Hudson, New York, Central Park. Entrance fee, $37 to $175. Even if you do want to visit New York, remember that there are actually free tourist attractions worth visiting. Why it isn't worth it. The Empire State Building allows visitors to enjoy a 360-degree panoramic view of Manhattan from the 86th floor, or tourists can splurge and enjoy no-wait lines with a guided tour of the 102nd floor. Of all the things to do in New York, what makes this tourist trap so overrated is that you essentially get in a long line to ride an escalator and look at a disappointing view. You can't even see Central Park from here, and you could have gotten the same experience for free at many hotel and restaurant rooftops for a fraction of the cost. 4. Times Square, New York City. Estimated airfare, $291. From LAX to JFK, estimated lodging, from $831 for 4 nights at the Watson Hotel. Why it isn't worth it. Another one of New York's famed tourist attractions. It's a low note for many visitors, who describe Times Square as dirty and crowded with far too many creepy copyright infringement characters dressed in filthy costumes. However, it continues to attract tourists, with 80% of visitors flocking to Times Square. If your tummy grumbles in the center of the universe, beware. Dare to get hungry here and you'll typically pay up to 3 times more for the same dish at the same chain restaurant. Hotels near these attractions also command very high rates, making this a firm pass. 5. Mona Lisa, Paris. Estimated airfare, $609. From JFK to Paris, estimated lodging, from $990 for 4 nights at Madeleine Plaza. Entrance fee, $18.50. Why it isn't worth it. The Louvre in Paris houses one of the greatest art collections in the world. A trip to the famed art museum is certainly worth it and a wonderful choice to while away a Parisian day of culture. However, according to museum staff, 80% of visitors are there to see just one exhibit, the Mona Lisa. For most of them, it will be a big disappointment. The painting is very small, and with such crowds coming just to snap a selfie with it in the background, it can be hard to get close enough for a good look. 6. Trevi Fountain, Rome. Estimated airfare, $597. From JFK to Rome. Estimated lodging, from $2,177 for 4 nights at Hotel Esposizione Roma. Private tours, $782.79. Why it isn't worth it. It's almost impossible to get a good photograph of the Trevi Fountain, which dates back to ancient Roman times, as it is so overrun with tourists. Your photos are more likely to show the heads of holidaymakers than centuries-old Italian architecture. Private tours may get you closer to the 85-foot-tall fountain, but it will set you back over $1,600 a couple. Combine that with some of the most expensive hotel rates and restaurants in the country and you've got yourself one expensive tourist trap. 7. Pyramids of Giza, Cairo, Egypt. Estimated airfare, $669. From JFK to Cairo, 16 miles from Giza. Estimated lodging, from $427 for 4 nights at the Cairo Marriott Hotel and Omar Khayyam Casino. Why it isn't worth it. The only remaining of the original 7 wonders of the world, the Pyramids of Giza, are a bit of a disappointment. As a tourist hub, the logistics have not been sufficiently covered. From clean, functioning bathrooms to adequate garbage bins, there is a lot of room for improvement here. The Egyptian pyramids were great, but now with views of downtown Cairo including fast food restaurants in the distance, they have lost some of their luster. They are also overrun with tourists, making it tricky to get a good view. And visitors beware, often aggressive peddlers will forcefully offer to take your photo for a fee, of course, which can make tourists feel harassed. 8. The Alamo, San Antonio. Estimated airfare, $270. From JFK to San Antonio. Estimated lodging, from $946 for 4 nights at the Sheraton Gunter Hotel. Why it isn't worth it. Although entrance to the Alamo is free, it is often regarded by visitors as an overrated tourist spot. The Battle of the Alamo, a momentous Mexican victory in the Texas Revolution, is surely worth remembering as an important history lesson, but a visit to the modern-day site is a bit of a letdown. A plethora of gift shops and tourist trap stores also make this one place you can scratch off your list. 9. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, Pisa, Italy. Estimated airfare, $890. From JFK to Pisa. Estimated lodging, from $539 for 4 nights at the Grand Hotel Bonanno. Entrance to the Tower of Pisa, $34.55 per person. Why it isn't worth it. Not only is a tower on a slant not really that interesting, but the Leaning Tower of Pisa doesn't really lean that much anyway. Pushy vendors trying to sell you tacky miniature towers and the hordes of crowds all taking the exact same pushing the tower over photo add to the underwhelming nature of this attraction. If you want to know more about the history of the tower, the construction of which began in 1173, you can take a guided tour which will set you back about $40 per person. All in all, this venue isn't worth a visit. 10. Hobbiton, Hamilton, New Zealand. Estimated airfare, $1,860. From JFK to Hamilton. Estimated lodging, from $466 for 4 nights at the Camelot on Ulster. Hobbiton movie set tours, $79 and up per person. Why it isn't worth it. At over $4,000 a couple just in flights, accommodations and entrance, the man-made village from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit movies is one expensive tourist attraction. Those who really want to break the bank could consider booking a private tour for up to 4 people, which costs a hefty $750. New Zealand is a beautiful country with many natural wonders and sights worth a long flight, but sadly Hobbiton is not worth the hype. 11. Dunn's River Falls, Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Estimated airfare, $377. From JFK to Kingston, Jamaica. Estimated lodging, from $396 for 4 nights as Sandcastles Holiday, tickets to the falls, $20 for adults, $12 for children ages 4 to 12. Why it isn't worth it. Touted as one of the most iconic sites in all of Jamaica, Dunn's River Falls is located near Agua Rios. Even though the website considers it as well known as reggae and equally stimulating, many visitors would tend to disagree. One former local explained their disdain on TripAdvisor, saying growing up on that beautiful island where it was a nature's paradise, one was able to climb that falls without paying and enjoy the natural beauty. I just visited that now commercialized tourist attraction and the image of natural beauty that I and the locals were able to enjoy for free is now overpriced. 12. Sydney Fish Market Sydney, estimated airfare, $1,489, from JFK to Sydney, Australia, estimated lodging, from $677 for 4 nights at Meriden Suites Kent Street. Why it isn't worth it. In the heart of Sydney's bustling seafood empire is the Sydney Fish Market, a spot where both the local restaurateurs and fishermen hobnob and find the freshest catches day in and out. Many visitors feel that the market isn't exactly a spot for tourists. Overcrowding and high-priced food make it a miss for many visitors. One visitor recounted their experience on TripAdvisor, saying, "We had nowhere to sit to eat, and we tried to find a spot for some time," adding that in their opinion, it wasn't worth a visit. 13. Hollywood Walk of Fame Los Angeles, estimated airfare, $188, from JFK to LAX, estimated lodging, from $677 for 4 nights at the Hotel Angeleno. Why it isn't worth it. In the heart of Hollywood, visitors can gaze upon the expansive gilded walkway, paying homage to the greatest names in showbiz both past and present. But in reality, although the cost to see it is free, it's just another sidewalk. Don't forget, this is a sidewalk in the middle of Los Angeles, a city with one of the most notable homeless epidemics in the world. Many visitors online recount tales of seedy characters, underwhelming visits and locals trying to scam tourists. They ask to take pictures with you and ask you for tips, even though you don't want to, said one former visitor on TripAdvisor. They would try to threaten you if you don't give them money. Disappointed. 14. Cancun, Mexico, estimated airfare, $271, from JFK to Cancun, estimated lodging, from $173 for 4 nights at the Ibis Cancun Centro. Why it isn't worth it. Even though Cancun boasts some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, the cons far outweigh the pros. Cancun is a seriously overrated tourist trap for quite a few reasons, but the primary reason is crime. In August 2017, the U.S. State Department cautioned Americans about traveling to certain parts of Mexico, including Cancun, due to deadly crime that threatened the nation. So much for that relaxing vacation, huh? 15. Big Ben, London, estimated airfare, $366, from JFK to London, England, estimated lodging, from $807 for 4 nights at the Central Park Hotel. Why it isn't worth it. Widely considered one of the most iconic spots in London, Big Ben looms large in the minds of tourists, which is why this is one of the most overrated tourist traps in all of England. Visitors far and wide crowd the grounds near Big Ben, making the experience congested and busy. One major element many visitors on TripAdvisor sum up succinctly: it was basically just a big clock, so it was really boring. And, finally, if you want to hear Big Ben's famous chime, you're going to have to wait a few years. The clock fell silent in 2017 in advance of a 4-year renovation plan.